the Epic Morning Show and Relationship Week. They continue here this morning. We guest this morning now Patrick Weah. He gets experience in counseling married couples for decades now, and what we will discuss this morning are how for spot red flags in a relationship. So stay with me. Drop a message on 0799949993. And we are also live on Facebook. We are also live online. Check with page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM on Facebook. Watch we live and drop away comments. Good morning, Mr. Weah.
Good morning.
All right, we're very happy to have you here, and a lot of people they look forward to this to for learn some of the experiences that you'll be sharing here this morning.
Okay.
So let's start with red flags. In your own experience, what you will point out as red flags in a relationship?
Okay, basically, I think we need for define, of course, within our red flags. Now, basically, things in a relationship where they point like signs of danger,
Okay.
where possibly go create problems or things that would serve as, pointers to problems in the future, and they are like indicators. Say, as long as these things remain in any relationship, then they point towards you headed for danger or the relationship going towards a collapse, or a breakup at the end of the day. Or these are things that if even the relationship no break up, go make a relationship be a dysfunctional relationship. In other words, the relationship not go function like how it's supposed to function. It not go be a normal relationship. And we find out say a lot of people can be in such relationships, then they keep managing those relationships with the hope that it will get better. But the signs are there constantly. Sometimes then our friends go see them, or even then sister go see them, but then go refuse to acknowledge them because of several issues.
And speaking about managing it, is it a bad thing for manage them? Because at the end of the day, everybody will say BRM, BRM.
Well, I think say everybody supposed to understand say you should have a point of limit. You not for hold on to a relationship at all cost, even
Okay.
when the relationship they go bad. For instance, some people are in abusive relationships, one in which the male partner in most cases, they physically abuse the person. I don't know in a situation where I counsel a lady where even though it was a married relationship, but the man they sexually abuse her. You go ask how somebody married a wife they sexually abuse them. Marriage, sex, for instance, will be consentful even within marriage. It will be something way for flow out of love. It will be something way mutual, we be built on mutual agreement. But in a situation wherein one partner they force himself on the other, even when the person gets a valid reason not for be involved in the act of sex, that could be a sign of abuse. So sometimes then the people can manage them, and in a relationship where they lead towards marriage, like say boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, some people can want for stay, like I said earlier on, in that relationship at all cost. Possibly maybe certain and they get other benefits. Let's say a young lady is in a relationship and they get financial benefits, but the man they beat them constantly is still one for remain in that relationship because it thinks again no other source of income. That man is his source of income and sustenance. So in those kinds of relationships or in those kinds of environment, people can still manage. Then also we live in a culture in which, like how you say earlier on, parents or friends or elders can say manage them. Now so it be. In fact, yes, some people even believe that there is no relationship where cheating does not take place. It's like a popular perception where me don't prove or be wrong. There are many people that have been faithful to their partners, that have been committed to one person and all the days of their life. A lot of people, even within the context of a culture in Sierra Leone. But we get this popular opinion that even old people, if you talk to them and meet them, somebody say, no man or they will not go keep girlfriend. You understand those kinds of things. So keep for beer in that kind. You just be a normal. I want to say something also so that I think say I go shape me me thoughts and me what I get for communicate on this program. Me they come up from what I call is I have a biblical worldview. So like the Bible is what informs. Now they inform me perspective and me position on all issues. And from a biblical perspective, we not encourage divorce. Okay, Except it come to that point where abuse really pronounced, we can encourage separation so that the person can be cancelled, and the man, especially if the man they abuse the woman, they brutally, they beat him, that kind of things. The man can able for be brought to that point where go understand, say in wife, not to somebody way for be beaten, but as somebody way for care for, and there are other ways to settle problems rather than fighting and quarrels.
In terms of those red flags, what can you manage? Which kind of red flags that we go manage, and one them we go say no, this is a deal breaker.
Okay. Um, I think we can look at certain red flags. For instance, red flags them can come up when somebody excessively secretive. You know, relationships supposed to be one in which people have forget an open communication, and people have for be open. There is a scripture where the Bible says God made the man and the woman, and both of them were naked. Now, a principle of openness, when they know they keep things from each other. When a relationship starts on secrecy, the one partner extremely secret, in financial life secret, in circle of friendship secret, in business activities, in work activities, everything about in life secret. That now something where now a red flag situation. But how for manage that kind of situation now? For create an environment where una go able for talk openly. I think say each partner for come to that point, a partner in a relationship for challenge in partner for be open enough for discuss issues where the person consider say this na a red flag situation. When you identify that situation, now have open communication, open discussion. I call what I call now a challenge. You throw a challenge. Say no. Sometimes they will feel say, for instance, the female gender, the sex, the woman, for always be subservient and always be quiet, for always accept what the man they say. But I think say we don't come to a point where we realize that kind of approach in a relationship, they end up for destroy the relationship rather than keep them. So a woman for come to that point where for say no, there are things I need to say. I have a place in this relationship. I have a say in this relationship. So if for challenge, and that now one issue also. There are many things where we go look at.
Yeah, quickly. For some people, they will say, for example, with financial life, they will say this is a conversation we are not ready for yet because I still don't know yet to say me and this person team up.
Okay.
And maybe if things get more serious, then go open up gradually.
Okay, the question where I go ask is a rhetoric. Why you start a relationship in the first place if you don't want to be serious with this person? Why you start? You see, we get what we call in philosophy, it's a historical term also, libido de dominandi. It means the desire for dominate. For we man, then most times we lack for dominate. Man then they conquer. Women are seen as territories for man. So man then they move from one woman, they conquer this woman for prove a point sometimes for party, then sometimes they don't throw an argument or they don't bite. Say are able for get this woman. So that conversation, maybe now a young beautiful lady in a community, you understand me? Then in that environment and they talk, and then you say, I must get this lady. Eventually conquer her. And after some time, he moved to another one. So because of that, you find out say such people will not be committed. The issue of commitment will be lacking in that relationship to the point that you're not going to be able to open up, say, okay, I can share my financial life with this woman. Imagine we get men in this country and all over the world where they work, then wife they don't know what in they earn. Likewise, we get women the way they work, their husbands they don't know what in they earn. So that's a secret part of their life. Say, na my own life, what are they earn, na my own. But I think say what in me they promote and what I think say go work and make every relationship work. Now where people are able for be open enough for say, okay, this is what I am earning, and then you get rights forgive the woman what you feel forgive. When man in a relationship, now you can determine what you able to forgive the woman. Likewise, if the woman they earn more than the man, in some relationships, some women earn more than the men. No matter how some man work, they can never earn more than their wives. Because the woman is more, it gets a position where they make them economically empowered, more empowered than the man, or financially stronger than the man. So for me, in those kinds of relationships where the person is not ready for open up in financial life to the other partner. Now one way they show, now a sign say this person not willing for be committed. Commitment, they come with financial and disclosures. You they open up and say, okay, this is me, this is what I'm earning, and now this are able for contribute to this relationship financially until maybe if it's not a marriage relationship, when I go into marriage, when I can get a good financial plan for the family.
Apart from being open,
Yeah.
or being secretive in this case, when I one red flag, which
Okay.
other red flag we say very common in relationships?
Well, one thing wey na red flag na attitude change. Attitude. People and they will get shifting attitudes. You're not able for tell who that the person be. Some years ago, I be the counsel one lady, and one thing wey tell me say, he say, I know sabi me man. I know sabi am. It's like today it tell like is the nicest of persons. By the next time is somebody else. So the person gets like he not get a stable personality. Down in a red flag situation, it's shady. Now the word down the person shady. Today look nice, the next day is something else. Today bring something. Some man and they can deliberately raise, quarrels. Then those kind of just because then certain the woman don't tell and say, okay, I go need money for something. Anytime they tell them money, it don't make palaver.
And being you just talk about openness, and sometimes that's the fear for some men that once you open and say this is what I'm making, the woman has a perspective on how much you are making, and the pressure on you just increase.
Of course, but I think say you self for realize that if it's that make I say the first thing we for establish what you want in a relationship, is it marriage or is it just sex? You see, sometimes
doesn't that determination come down the line? Say, let they go no more and see how this progress. Because for some people, that's the approach.
Okay, I know one for judge the person approach. Like I say, I get a biblical worldview. People and get their own worldviews. People and get what they inform them decisions. So like I know say how they speak to a wider audience beyond the church.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I go say, I think say one of the keys, whether you're a Christian or Muslim or whatever you believe in, one of the keys that make relationship work na commitment. So the why you start a relationship is very important, no matter your belief system. It's very important. So some people are there to start a relationship because the woman get fine body, fine face, fine features, and he's just that kind of man chasing those kinds of women. Or for the woman, the man get money. She's just that kind of woman chasing. So the why very, very important. And it's important that even you when they start a relationship, you the man, for instance, you go see red flags in a woman. So man, the moment he come to you where he can't see your apartment, he can't see your house, or you see the car where you drive, or you see the now money. Woman when they start relationship and begin for ask man for money, what made the man initiate giving. That's for the man, that's a big red flag. You don't say the day where you yarn him, he ask you for money. You don't say this not to somebody way trustworthy. In a sense, not to somebody way, even if the person get need, maybe say that person the maturity dictates that woman wait until the man reach out to her.
So and you've listed a number of then red flags and they so for young people now they've listened to you this morning, and of course it'll give you a sharp instinct now for how they look out for these things. Young people, whether men or women, or look out. So immediately when you see them, is there a point at which you say they say this is what I can take, this is something that I cannot take? When I will strike a compromise around them red flag situations and
at a point you ask me a question where I say one of the things I want to for do in every relationship, communication. Edwin Lewis Cole, one of the most foremost experts on relationship issue, he wrote a book, Communication, Sex, and Money, where he talk about the three key things that either makes a relationship work or not: communication, sex, and money. So una for constantly they communicate to a point. You see, two things we need for know. We need for know how for go into a relationship and how for break a relationship. We need for know that one day. How for start. But people don't know how for start. But people don't know how for break. You need for break a relationship in such a way that you're not going to become emotionally drained. You're not going to be hot. You foresee the person that even breaking a relationship, enable for communicate. Say the reason we make another thing, say this go work. Now this, and this. So you for take stock of how the relationship they go, and you for able for know say this point where they, if I continue this relationship, it will be hazardous for both me and my partner. So we can't give a timeline per se, but it therefore depend on the person in the relationship for know what he go take and what he not go take. In limit. How, because some people in the Bible, I will use with biblical term, long suffering. They will forbear for long. So man, if something happen quick, so everybody gets in point where they break. So I think if you know your limits and then you discuss, I think say the best thing for doing is for sit the person down, wanna discuss and settle the matter amicably. Some people in the right that way don't break relationship. They are good friends. Anytime they meet, they get good friendship. Yes, they were once in a relationship because they break well. Then get a good relationship, friendship relationship. It's all over the place.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Patrick Weah. Many thanks for discussing this topic with we. Now, how to spot red flags in a relationship. Many thanks to everybody who they watch you.